The whisper of the dark forest. In the densest part of the Ituri forest, where not even sunlight dared to enter, the natives spoke in low voices of a creature no one had seen and everyone feared. They called it Mbaku, the striped spirit, the ghost that walks soundlessly. Every so often, a lumberjack would disappear without a trace. Only wet marks could be found between the trees, as if something had been watching them very close. One moonless night, a curious young man named Kito decided to enter the forest. He said he didn't believe in ghosts and wanted to prove it was just superstition. He entered with his flashlight, his machete, and a notebook to record everything. The branches creaked as he walked, but the forest seemed to fall silent as he advanced. Absolute silence. No crickets, no frogs. Suddenly he heard something. A whisper, distant, like hot breath among the trees. "Kitu, who's there?" he asked, trembling. No one answered. Only the trees, still as statues. He kept walking, but he began to see strange things. Footprints that didn't look like any familiar animal, and marks on the trunks that smelled like old iron. Dried blood. Then his flashlight flickered and went out. In the darkness, something brushed against him. It wasn't a blow. It wasn't a scratch. It was a slow, sticky lick on his cheek. Like a long, warm, wet tongue. Kito screamed. When he turned the flashlight back on, he saw it. A silent, brown animal with white striped legs, huge eyes like black pools, and a bluish tongue that slowly returned to its mouth. It wasn't aggressive. It just stared at him, motionless. But behind it, there were other eyes. Dozens. Hundreds. All the same. All silent. All staring. Kito stepped back. He stumbled. He fell. He hit his head. When he woke up, it was daylight. He was alone. His notebook had a new page, written in shaky handwriting. Don't go in with fear. He only cares. But if you come with anger, you won't get out. From then on, no one saw Kito in the village again. But the woodcutters say that sometimes, at dawn, they see a young man with white stripes on his legs, watching them from the bushes. And when they follow him, he vanishes like smoke. Part 2. The Woman Who Ignored the Forest. 5 years passed since Kito's disappearance. The village had buried him in whispers, like a forgotten dream. But not Aminata, his sister. She never believed he had died. She said his soul still breathed in the forest. While everyone else avoided the cursed path, she walked it at night, alone, leaving flowers, ropes, and scraps of cloth with her name on them. She dreamed of whispers. She dreamed of eyes. One starless night, the forest called to her. Not with words, but with a deep, low hum that resonated in her bones. She entered unarmed, only with a drum. Her grandmother had told her, spirits don't attack sincere music. And as she walked, she began to play. Thump, thump, thump. The trees listened to her. So did the ground. Aminata moved forward. Hours, maybe days. And then the drum fell silent. Not out of fear, but because the silence became so dense that nothing could sound anymore. And in front of her, the fog emerged. From it, the same animal, the brown Okapi, its eyes like dark galaxies, its striped paws. It didn't advance. It didn't flee. It just looked straight into her heart. She didn't back down. "Give me back my brother," she whispered, her voice firm. The Okapi turned its head slowly, and from the fog emerged a human silhouette. But it wasn't Kito. It was another face, pale, covered in mud. And another. And another. Dozens. Aminata understood. The forest sheltered those who were lost, but it didn't kill them. It transformed them. It turned their bodies into shadows. But their souls remained entangled in the roots. And then, among the trees, a figure walked toward her. It was him. Kito. But his body was different. His legs had white markings, and his fur shone a dark brown, like an Okapi's. He didn't speak with his mouth. He spoke with his eyes. And he said, "I'm not coming with me. I'm coming with you." She hugged him. And the forest trembled, not with anger, but with relief. That night, for the first time in decades, the birds sang in the thicket. Since then, they say two figures walk together through the forest. A woman with a drum, and a man with striped legs. And where they walk, the forest no longer devours. It protects. Part 3. Where Heartbeats Resurrect. When Aminata hugged Quito in the thicket, something broke and mended at the same time. She had sought him out of sisterly love, but seeing him again, his body touched by the forest, her soul felt something beyond human words. Quito felt it too. He wasn't just him. He was the echo of other lives. And in each one, she had always found him. But the peace didn't last. In the outside world, an ambitious man had heard of the striped creature that granted visions. His name was Gasper, a collector of oddities. With guns, fire, and drones, he entered the forest with a group of men, unaware that the heart of the forest was no longer alone. Aminata felt it before they arrived. Her drum broke only that night. The forest shuddered like a sleeping beast beginning to breathe deeply. "They're going to kill him," she said. "They won't be able to. But if they try, they'll die." Quito knew what was coming, and he didn't want the forest to bleed again. So he said to Aminata, "If they touch me, I'm gone. If you touch me, I'll stay. But only one can leave." She hugged him, tight, as if embracing life itself. Gasper found them at dawn. He saw the creature, the male Okapi, strange, perfect. He aimed his gun. He fired. The forest roared. The trees shook like spears, the birds fled silently, and the air became thick as tar. But Quito didn't fall. Aminata did. She had gotten in the way. The shot pierced his chest. Gasper fled, but he never left the forest. Aminata's body fell, but didn't touch the ground. The forest held her. Roots tangled around her waist. Quito screamed voicelessly, and then he kissed her. And her soul didn't leave, it merged with his. From that day on, the Okapi no longer walks alone. They say that if you enter the forest during the new moon, you can see two shadows. One with eyes that shine like sap, another that sings without a mouth, with the drum of its soul. Sometimes love is stronger than blood. Sometimes, love revives what death thinks it has won.